didn't even see him going up that heavy, and he did that. So, but as of right now, I have to put Terrence Crawford.
Did you in your head size up Floyd? Like, was, you know what I'm saying? If we was ever keep it real, boss, keep it real.
I'm never that type of guy. I think that's some grimy shit. Always been happy for him, been a fan of his.
Floyd Mayweather recently visited Terrence Crawford and joined him in training. Before Crawford's big fight with Canelo Alvarez, Floyd praised Crawford's skills and hard work, calling him the #1 pound-for-pound boxer today. They're tough. Training sessions showed they respect each other, and Mayweather clearly believes Crawford has what it takes to win this super fight.
Right now, in your opinion, who's the best fighter in the world?
We can put Tank up there in the top 10 in pound for pound. He has to be somewhere in pound for pound. And Canelo done something that is amazing when Canelo was able to go to light heavyweight and become light heavyweight champion. Something that I didn't even see him going up that heavy, and he did that. So, but as of right now, I have to put Terrence Crawford as #1.
In a recent talk, Crawford shared what he discussed with Floyd Mayweather. He said Mayweather didn't just give compliments, he offered real advice and inspiring words. Floyd recognized Crawford's talent, but also reminded him how tough the fight with Canelo would be, even though Canelo has age and experience. Mayweather urged Crawford to stay focused and sharp. Their conversation was respectful and aimed at preparation, not just praise.
That's a big boy. He's strong. You know, you box good. You can do this. You got this over him. You're gonna have to tight up this. You're gonna have to do this. You know, it's a conversation. It's not just, oh man, you'll whoop his ass. You'll do this to him. It's never like
yes man type
stuff.
stuff.
I mean, it's like, hey, listen, you know, that's a dangerous fight. You know, but
that's the fight.
If it happened, you know.
Fans and boxing experts didn't miss the moment when these two legends met. Their interaction quickly spread online, creating a lot of buzz on social media. Seeing a young champion with a retired legend made a big impact. Many people felt it. Showed Mayweather passing the torch. The talk wasn't only about the fight, it was also about legacy, mentorship, and respect between champions.
Floyd.
Congratulations, man.
Mayweather made a bold statement about Canelo Alvarez, pointing to past doping claims and calling out media bias. He said that when it comes to Canelo, performance-enhancing drug issues are often ignored. Floyd believes there's a double standard in how these cases are treated. His comments started debates about fairness and truth in boxing, with fans either supporting or disagreeing with him.
But what we don't talk about is, you know, Canelo. Steroids. Y'all don't talk about that. So we don't know. We really don't know all the fighters he beat. They could have been not clean in a lot of fights.
Mayweather talked about his old fight with Canelo, saying he went into the ring light around 151 or 150 pounds, even with the size difference. Floyd used his defense and smart tactics to win. His victory showed how timing and skill can beat raw power. It's a reminder of how he stayed unbeaten by using finesse, not just strength or aggression.
After Canelo made the weight, it wasn't like it was a certain clause to where he couldn't gain weight. So after he weighed 152 or 152 and a half, I think he came in like 168 or close to 170. And actually I came in at probably like I probably came in at 151 and 152.
Gotcha.
But Roy Jones is one hell of a fighter. You know, I can't get on here and hate on his skills and knock his skills. He's been through a lot in the sport of boxing, and he's done a lot for the sport of boxing.
Since the start of his career, Crawford has seen Floyd as more than just a great boxer. He sees him as someone who built greatness. That respect grew into a strong connection, where Mayweather sometimes shares tips and advice, Crawford takes these moments seriously, using them to improve and learn from Floyd's smart boxing style. Their bond is built on shared dreams and deep respect.
But I know how you is. You be sizing niggas up, bro. Keep it a stack. Did you in your head size up Floyd? Like, you know what I'm saying? If we was ever keep it real, boss, keep it real.
I'm never that type of guy. I think that's some grimy shit. Always been happy for him, been a fan of his, and I never imagined us fighting.
Yeah.
I never looked at him like, man, I know I'll beat it.
But you capping, bro. I never thought like fantasy fight me versus Floyd, nah.
Never. I never just was with a person and looked at him like, man, I'll beat his ass. Never. That's some hate type shit to me.
You like plotting.
Yeah, I ain't never been that type of person ever.
Crawford is training harder than ever as he prepares for his next big challenge. Every drill, from his footwork to his punching, shows how focused he is. Training videos show a fighter who's not just giving effort, he's training wisely. He's changing his workouts to face a tough opponent like Canelo, someone strong and experienced. And it's clear he's preparing with purpose. During training camp, Crawford's leg exercises are a key part of his fitness plan. Workouts like squats and lunges help power his explosive moves in the ring. These exercises build stamina and balance, letting him move smoothly across the ring and stay steady under pressure. His hard leg workouts show how serious he is about every detail of his training.
Nice. All right, put him up. 3, tension build. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Crawford's sparring sessions show how smart he is in the ring. Facing partners who copy Canelo's style, he uses his jab to control the pace, create space, and land strong punches. His jabs are not just for defense, they're part of a smart plan. When you add his skill in switching stances, it's clear he has a flexible and complex strategy for the fight.
Watch the right hand for the decoy.
Y'all know chess? Fisher versus Spassky? Two of the best, you understand? That's what you watch. Two of the best. That's how Star work. You know how to work. You know how to get the most out of everything. Good job, Trey.
Promoter Eddie Hearn remembered a surprise visit to a gym that turned into something special. He just planned to stop by, but instead got to see Floyd and Crawford together. Eddie said he'd met Floyd before, but this time felt different. There was laughter, smart talk, and a rare friendly vibe. Fans also got to see a fun, relaxed side of Crawford.
How is Crawford going to be able to bridge this weight gap?
Yeah, I don't think he can, in all honesty. I mean, he might not be able to bridge it on Saturday.
Yeah.
So,
one weight class.
68, yeah, but you're coming up from 35. 35, 40, 47, 54. Sooner or later, it's one too many. And 68 is definitely too many. But Crawford's brilliant. Like, he's a genius. He's a generational great. So maybe he can find a way to do it. But I feel he'd be hugely outsized against Canelo Alvarez. Yeah. But you have to use your movement. If you're Terence Crawford in that fight, the last thing you want to do is stand and trade. He'd be moving a lot in that fight, trust me. I'm not saying he'd be running, but he would be moving a lot. Of course, that's the way to beat him.
Yeah.
You know.
Crawford has faced critics directly by accepting how big this fight is. Instead of ignoring questions about Canelo's size or power, he admitted they matter, but they're not excuses. He sees this as part of his path and truly believes he can win. His message is strong. He's not just here to fight, he's here to win and prove his doubters wrong.
That's a fight because of the challenge. Yeah. I love the challenges, and I love the people that I hear them now. You're too little. You know, Canelo gonna break you. He's gonna stop you. You come from 147. That weight too big. This and that. I can hear it now, and that just excites me to go in there and just be like, okay, let me prove him wrong once again.
That fight would be gigantic if Canelo gets through Jamel. And then you guys fight. That fight would be gigantic.
And it's crazy because, like, in the past interviews, I was like, man, Canelo too big, man. It's weight classes for a reason. I was like, nah. But in my mind, in my heart, I don't think nobody too big.
Mayweather recently shared his thoughts about Crawford taking on Canelo. Based on his own fight with the same opponent, Floyd said careful planning is key. He didn't say Crawford shouldn't take the fight instead. He stressed that smart strategy is the way to win, coming from someone who never lost. Floyd's advice added serious meaning to the conversation.
Terrence Crawford jumping up from 154 to 168 and beating this quote-unquote version of Canelo Alvarez would diminish the accomplishment that Floyd Mayweather accomplished beating his version of Canelo Alvarez. Is it two different versions of Canelo Alvarez? And obviously, Canelo Alvarez is 62 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, 39 big wins by way of knockout. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He is obviously bigger. When Floyd fought him, it was at 152 catch weight, but it had no rehydration clause. So you might as well just say it was at 154. Now, two things they have in common is that Floyd Mayweather was 36, 37 years of age. Terrence Crawford is 36, 37 years of age, going on 38. So he'll be 38 when he fights Canelo Alvarez. Floyd had already had 2 fights at 154. He had the fight with Miguel Cotto, and he had the fight with Oscar De La Hoya.
Boxing expert Teddy Atlas asked an important question. Can Crawford stay quick and mobile enough to bother Canelo? Canelo is known for cutting distance and landing big punches. Atlas thinks Crawford's footwork could be the answer. The big question is whether Canelo can adjust to Crawford's rhythm, or if Crawford can stay safe long enough to score points.
Well, come on, he's human. So he had a few hiccups. He won the fight. He's Terrence Crawford. A lot of people say, "Oh, Teddy, you make him so good. You're always saying how great Crawford is." You know, but who's he beating? He unified the. What was his first division? Lightweight. Then he unified the junior. Then he unified the junior welter. Then he unified the welter. I think I got the weight classes right. It doesn't matter. He unified like 3 different weight classes. He moved up in weight.
Crawford's trainer Bomac replied to Canelo's negative comments about Crawford's fight record. He said people often ignore how easily Crawford beat big names, from Porter to Brook to Gamboa. Crawford took them all apart. Bomac said Crawford doesn't look for unfair edges. He fights fair, showing he's more focused on legacy than shortcuts.
Guys are tired of me saying it. I look at him. Look, Canelo's special too. I get it. And he's bigger. I get that too. And everyone's going to say, well, after Madrimore fight again, had a couple hiccups. Now he's stepping up another weight class. Now he's got to fight Canelo, who's even bigger, stronger, better puncher. You know, a unified champion that he's been. You know, all of that stuff. He's not going to be able to handle it. I asked this question. See, I go to the other side. I say, okay, yeah, can Canelo handle the smaller guy who's going to be faster, who's going to be slicker, who's going to be better defensively, who's going to have better legs, you know, who's going to be able, sometimes Canelo at this point in his career can slow down a little bit. They're both getting older. I get it.
Coach Steve Nelson gave his opinion on talk that Crawford should face David Benavidez. While it sounds bold, Nelson said that idea doesn't really make sense. He explained that some risky fights are not brave, they're planned. Crawford's team wants fights that mix greatness with smart planning, not just ones that look exciting, but don't help his career.
Unpack what just went on. Steve Nelson just said, and I'm paraphrasing because you guys heard it, link will be in the description. He just told you out his own mouth, he's like, fans are saying that Crawford should fight David Benavidez or a true 168 pounder. Doesn't make sense. Bud is after legacy, and then he said, and money. So this proves why I don't want to see this particular fight like some of y'all. He just told you. So this is what I call an advanced cherry pick. Now I know some people, you're gonna start crying. The reason I say advanced, now it's not an advanced, it's not a cherry pick in the normal sense of like, you know, because this would be an accomplishment if Bud can defeat somebody at a higher weight class without acclimating. right? So it's not the traditional cherry pick, but it is still an advance, or this is what I'm calling it, an advanced cherry pick, because his own teammate and friend Steve Nelson is telling you there's no reason for Bud to fight a true 168 pounder. He started off by saying Canelo Alvarez started off smaller, like a welterweight earlier in his career at 54, and then made his way up to 68. So that lets me know the mentality from Team Crawford is Canelo, we know he has shown signs of slippage and being a little bit older in his recent fights. Can't put away Munguia, and some other guy did, Surase.
Boxing figure Showbiz the adult pushed back on the idea that Crawford only has one big win. His fight with Errol Spence Jr., he pointed to other key wins, like Sean Porter. His point was that Crawford's greatness comes from being steady and consistent, not just one night. This view counters critics who say his whole career comes down to one fight.
Spaceman Films. What up, Biz? Who you got? Canelo Crawford.
Yeah, got Canelo. I heard the punches that he hit Charlo with. I don't know if Crawford can absorb those punches. I know he's a great man and a great warrior. When you come from 147 to put on a better fight than Charlo, I mean, I don't even know what that means. I don't know if that means that Crawford is so great and he could do that, or that means that Charlo set the bar so damn low that anybody could do better than Charlo did last night.
Do skill really pay the bill? Because that would be tested.
Pay the bill. That's why Canelo's good for this.
Veteran boxer Nonito Donaire praised Crawford's great footwork, calling it a major strength. He said movement could be the key against someone like Canelo, who puts on pressure. Crawford's quick steps and smooth movements help him avoid punches and frustrate his rivals. Coming from a champ like Donaire, this breakdown carries real weight.
You know, Canelo's a stronger guy, the bigger guy, but in a fight with a guy that moves around, and if Crawford uses his skills and his legs and his technique and just his ability, I think he can win. He can win the fight in decision, as long as he doesn't get hit with those big shots from Canelo.
Canelo Alvarez's recent fight against William Skull left fans disappointed for the wrong reasons. The match had little energy, and both fighters barely threw punches. Canelo didn't look sharp, and fans started questioning if he's still at his best. With age and many battles behind him, some now wonder if he can handle a younger, more driven fighter like Crawford.
After really the Triple G fight is when we've seen the slippage on Canelo. And over the last 2 years, it's been immediately apparent. It's been apparent straight away over the last 2 years. Canelo's feet have always been slow. He's always been very slow-footed. So when people are saying, oh, it looks like his legs are slowing down, yeah, they are. They've never been quick, but now they're even slower, which is a problem. And Jim Lampley on commentary on Friday night show was saying that one of Canelo's biggest strengths is his legs. It generates power and it helps with his punch resistance. Well, those legs are sliding and that power is diminishing. Canelo hasn't had a stoppage win now since he knocked out Calaplant in 2021. And yeah, he's dropped some of these guys, but he's not been able to step on the gas and finish them. He's not been able to go through the gears. His gas tank, you can put that into question as well. And Canelo Alvarez, come July, be 35 years old. So he is, look, Canelo's been around so long, and his real prime was in his mid-20s. So we associate Canelo, mid-20s to early 30s. So we kind of associate Canelo with that. I don't want to say ever young, but you know, he is still young, just not in boxing senses. But he's been around so long, 20 years a pro, and he's been at world levels for probably 15 of those. You're going to expect some slippage. And I think in this fight, an opponent, it was very negative, yes,